Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. Today I have a what sold video again finally for you guys. I discovered that it was just kind of crazy trying to do it every single day with 5 boys and my husband in school. It just made it a little difficult trying to run everything and get listings done and get sourcing done and dinner and just appointments, and you know, I'm sure all you moms out there understand. Anyway, so today I'm going to start doing the what sold videos for about 1 to 2 weeks at a time. As soon as I find kind of my groove, I'll figure out whether I'm going to do it every week, every 2 weeks, every so many days. I'm not quite sure on that yet. I know some people do like what sold Sunday and everything. That might work for me, but I'm not positive yet because I have a lot of stuff that I do for church on Sunday also. So anyway, let's get started. So my what sold video for today is going to be sales from November 5th through the 15th, which was yesterday because today is the 16th. Sorry, my hair's blowing everywhere. And we're gonna start with November 5th. I only have one item that sold on November 5th, and that is a pair of Old Navy wide leg low-waisted striped dress pants. I did get those at the bins. That was when I first started sourcing here, and so I kind of was still picking up Old Navy stuff. I don't really pick it up much anymore. The only time I ever really do is if it's got like a really cool style and it's just something that I really know is gonna sell for a little bit more. Anyway, those sold for $12. My profit after cost of goods and Poshmark fees were $7.45. So the first sale for November 6th was a vintage bright red Pendleton 100% wool suit jacket. Someone liked it and I sent them an offer for $34, and so that meant after cost of goods and Poshmark fees, I made a profit of $22.58. The next item I sold is a Helly Hansen. It was a kind of a dark orange men's activewear long sleeve top. That one I listed at $25, I believe, and then someone liked it, and so I sent him an offer. He asked me a question about it to make sure that the neck wasn't stretched out. I don't know why, because it doesn't look like that in the pictures. Maybe they have a habit of having the neck stretched out on that kind of top or something. Anyway, I sold it to him for $20 for an offer to like her, and then after fees and cost of goods, that ended up giving me a profit of $12.88. Next item is a Adrian Vittadini. That one looks like it's sold. I had it for a while, so I kind of lowered the price, and then it sold at $19. So after fees and everything and cost of goods, I made $14.05 on that item. And then next item, I'm gonna scoot over here. Next item is a vintage Canyon Group Moon and Stars chenille robe. Now this item I got, you'll see in one of my haul videos where I went and got a whole ton of ankle boots and probably 4 or 5 other pieces of clothing, and this is one of the pieces of clothing that was in there. And the reason I grabbed it was not only because it only cost me $1. Second, because it was the exact robe that I remember when I was maybe like junior high or something, and there was a lot of girls that had that specific robe, and I always wanted one. And so I was tempted to keep it, but I already have a robe that I really like, and it was just kind of more bulky than I would prefer right now. Anyway, when I looked up the comps, there was only one that had sold, and it sold for $100. And so I listed it, and a few days later, a lady bought it for $100. And then just recently, a few days ago, if you look on my Instagram, you'll see the review that she put up. And apparently she's been searching for this specific robe for a very long time. And she was so excited when she got it. And gave me this amazing review, which made me super happy, and I'm so glad that it made her day. So anyway, it sold for $100. I ended up with Poshmark fees and cost of goods making $79 on a $1 investment, which is just like amazing. So the fifth sale that I have for November 6th is a Tahari black sequined suit jacket, and it's more of a cropped sort of style. So it sold for $28, and that was because I sent an offer to like her for it when she liked it. So altogether, after the cost of goods and the fees, I ended up making $18.26 on that item. On November 7th, I sold one item, just one item. I'm assuming that was like a Monday or a Tuesday because those days are super slow. I sold a Talbot, which I don't normally pick up, but because this was a red quilted puffer vest with like a corduroy kind of detail on the collar, I grabbed that one because the whole quilted jacket thing is kind of a bigger thing right now. So I've had that one for maybe a month or so. It's probably in one of my hauls from the bins. So it sold for $18. I had it at a lower price just because I knew it was a Talbot's and it may not go as fast as some of the other items. So after all of the fees and everything and cost of goods, that item ended up profiting me $13 even. So on to November 8th, which was a really good day. I sold 5 items, and first item was a Stanley brand, just kind of like the Tool brand, Sherpa lined men's thermal black shirt. This item someone bought outright. It sold for $35, and after cost of goods and fees, I ended up profiting $26.05. The next item I sold was a loft, and if this fit me, I would have kept it. It was a olive green rayon cotton blend cargo jogger pants with kind of the tie around the waist, which are really popular right now. There was nothing wrong with them, perfect condition. They sold for $25 without an offer, and I ended up profiting $19.12. Okay, the next item that sold are a pair of Rocket Dog warm winter knit boots. I don't always buy Rocket Dog stuff, but when they're boots, it's a little bit different, especially since these were the knit kind of ones that are like more of an UGG sort of feel to them. And so I figured even if they sold for a lesser amount that it'd still be good. And I was right, because no offer, they sold for $30 even. And I ended up profiting off of, after all cost of goods and fees, $21.38. So not too bad for a kind of lower end item. Next, I have a pair of Levi's women's light wash low rise 542 flared jeans. That's a mouthful. Anyway, those sold for $35. I ended up profiting $25.39 after cost of goods and Poshmark fees. So that was a really good buy. Anything that's Levi's, I usually will get if they're in really good condition. If they're not, the only reason I would buy ones that are in really good condition is if they are the specific vintage style that are like the high-waisted mom jeans kind of, that are the more structured without the spandex, because those are the ones that are really popular right now, but those are really hard to find recently, even at the bins. So usually when you find them, they're totally trashed. So fifth item that I have that sold on November 8th is a Dress Barn brand, which I don't normally pick up, but I got this one because it was a black quilted jacket with faux leather trim around the edges on the hem and everything. It sold for me for $20, and I ended up profiting $14.05. That one I've had since I think summer, and so I was happy to see that one go. I don't like to see stuff sit for too long because it starts to drive me crazy. I like to buy stuff, get it listed, get it sold, and move on to the next items. Otherwise, I feel like my closet gets kind of stale and it really bothers me. I don't know if anybody else is like that, but that's just how I am. Anyway, on to the next item. On November 9th, I sold only one item. That was a BB Dakota wool blend hooded wrap midi jacket. This one was beautiful. It did have a couple of flaws on it where it had snaps that needed to be kind of restitched because they were hanging a little bit, and it had a little bit of wear from like dog hair and stuff like that I cleaned off as best as I could. I did put that in the description, and so because of those problems, I sold it for $30, which gave me a profit of $21.23 after fees. So I was happy with that. It did weigh quite a bit, and that's why I ended up making a little bit less. So next is November 10th. I ended up selling two items on November 10th. And let's see, the first one is a new with tags Calvin Klein knit sweater cape. I saw some other girls picking it up in the bins, and I could tell that they were not resellers. They were just there getting stuff for themselves, and it was not their size, but they picked it up, and it's like a sweater. It was a knit sweater that's gray, and it was like it had a cape. So the cape starts right here and then goes down, as you'll see in the picture. And it had the tags on it, didn't have any flaws or anything. So I wasn't too sure on it because I thought it was kind of interesting. It wasn't something I would particularly wear. It probably would have driven me crazy. But, however, it did sell for $40. I think it was, the original retail was around $90, I believe. So it ended up giving me a profit of $30, which is just awesome. The second item that sold on November 10th is a pair of Vanity brand Curvy Light Wash Factory Distressed Jeans. Sorry, I'm out of breath today. So I've had those for a while, and so I lowered the price recently when I've been doing an audit with all of my bins in my garage with all the inventory in them to determine what will be kept, what will not be kept, because the stuff that I had picked up months ago or at the beginning of the year when I first moved from Texas to Utah is not necessarily stuff that I really want to have in my closet now. So I've been periodically, as I've been listing stuff, pulling out one bin at a time, relisting items that I want to keep, and getting rid of and redonating items that I don't want to keep. So I was happy that when I relisted those, that they went because they were in really good condition. Okay, next item that I have is November 11th. On November 11th, I made 3 sales. The first sale was a new without tags pair of Clark's Dusty Blue leather sandals that have the Velcro closure on them. As you can see, they did sell for $33. I lowered the price a little bit recently since it is off season, and I just wanted to try and clear them out since I've had them for a while. So I ended up making a profit of $25.03 on those, which is awesome. Over $25, that's the goal. And that made me really happy. So, second sale I made on November 11th was a bundle. It was 2 items, Zara Girls clothing items that I got at, I guess it was my first estate sale, technically. That was down the street, although it felt more like a garage sale to me. I got a massive armful of girls Zara clothing that was really good condition. That was one of those pieces, and the other piece was one that I got at the bins, which was a Pink Republic bohemian style knit frayed sweater. It had the little tassel fraying like in a V shape down here, and I thought that was super cute when I saw it and that someone would really love it. So that ended up giving me a profit of $17.98. And the last item for November 11th is this Denim & Supply layered floral boho dress. I got this one at a yard sale in the summer, and I ended up picking it up for, I believe it was $4 or $5. It sold for $30, and with the cost of goods and my Poshmark fees, I ended up making $19 on that item. Next item, November 13th, I sold 3 different items. The first item was one that I just barely a couple weeks ago got from the bins, and it's this Harley Davidson studded women's black vest, and it had like an eagle on the back with studding all over it and everything. I knew it would sell, and because it was in great condition and everything, just had a tiny bit of fading, but I didn't think anyone would care because it's going to be getting worn a lot, I'm assuming. So that sold for $25, and it made me a profit of $19.03. And the second item I sold was a Zara Girls wide leg pleated pair of pants. They weren't normal pleats, as you can see in the picture. They're like these little micro pleats that go all the way down. They were super cute. That was part of the Zara Girls lot that I got at that estate sale during the summer. Those ended up selling for $13 via offer to liker, and I ended up profiting $5.93 because they cost me $2. All the pieces cost me $2 at that estate sale that were Zara. The last item that I sold on November 13th were a pair of new with tag 32 degrees women's tech fleece gray joggers that I got at the bins. I grabbed these because I know that they're amazingly comfortable. I know they do sell that kind of stuff at Costco. 32 degrees is a big brand that gets sold at Costco a lot of their different pieces, that and weatherproof. There's a lot of stuff that they sell at Costco, or they're starting to sell at Costco now, which kind of lowers the price. But I was still happy to sell them because I have a pair and they're honestly my favorite. They're so comfortable. So they sold for $10 because I lowered the price since I'd had them for a while, and I just wanted to kind of clear them out. I ended up profiting $6.02 on those. And then my next sales were on November 14th. 3 sales for November 14th. First one is a hand crocheted virgin wool scarf that it was just absolutely beautiful, and that's the main reason I picked it up. It was from a brand called Sally Gee, which was what it showed on the tag, and I hadn't heard of it before, so I looked it up because I don't normally pick up scarves anymore unless they're a big deal. However, this one I just kind of had a soft spot for because it was so beautiful. The pattern on it was just gorgeous. Anyway, if it wasn't wool, I probably would have kept it and used it, but wool just makes me itch so bad. Anyway, so it sold for $15, and after cost of goods and fees from Poshmark, I ended up profiting $11.23. Next sale on November 14th was a vintage 90s style women's Obermeyer ski jacket that's purple. The reason why it had kind of a 90s style to it is because of that elastic sort of waistband belt that snaps in the front that I saw on it. It didn't seem like it was an actual vintage one. It was more vintage kind of inspired. And so I'd had that one since the summer. And so I went ahead and sent out an offer to somebody when they liked it for $34. Just to kind of get it out of my closet. So I ended up profiting $23 on that one. And then my last sale for November 14th was a women's filigree style gray knee-length dress. It didn't have any sort of tag on it. It's one of the only pieces that I brought with me from Texas that I had actually sourced there. I do believe I got it at a thrift store in Texas, and in the Bible Belt area, there's it's very typical to have a lot of smaller thrift stores that are usually run by churches, and those are typically a very good place to source. So if you live in the South or anywhere near that Bible Belt area and you can find shops like that, that's a really good place to go and look. That one I had priced really low, only at $10 because I've had it for so long, so I was just happy to let it go, and it made me a profit of $6.05. So last day of sales for this What Sold video is November 15th, and this one had some great stuff. First item is a Sears vintage lavender colored velvet pullover sweater. It was definitely very vintage. I grabbed it just because of that. I like stuff that's kind of different and original that you're not going to just find in every closet on Poshmark, you know, something that they see in my closet and they can't get anywhere else. That kind of stuff makes me happy because it kind of gives me the monopoly on it, which is great. So I've had it for a while, and so I kind of lowered the price because I hadn't had a lot of interest on it, unfortunately, and it ended up selling for $12, which gave me a profit of $8.05. So the next item is a hat that I've only had for a few weeks. It's a Duluth women's purple fleece hat, and it had the piece that kind of goes over your ears so it can fold down. It looks like it's really warm and it's baseball style with the bill in the front, and then it has a hole right here in the back so that you can have your ponytail come out. I hate having my hair pushed into my neck with beanies and stuff, so when you can have a ponytail sticking out your beanie instead, that just makes me happy. I'm so glad they started doing that kind of stuff. Anyway, the next item I was really happy with. This one hasn't shipped out yet. It is in my inventory, so I haven't pulled it yet. It's from the estate sale that I just barely did videos on, that I went to this last weekend. And it was, I can't remember if it was the first or the second time I went. I think it was the second time. But it is a J. Peterman Company kimono style robe, and it's just gorgeous. If it wasn't a bigger size than me, I probably would have ended up at least trying it because it was just so cool. And from what I understand, the J. Peterman Company is something that you can only get through like a catalog, and this lady had amazing taste and she had tons of these. I'm hoping if I go back and they allow me to get all those Johnny Was pieces this week, if someone gives me a call and I can go and get those, that hopefully I can grab some other pieces too if they're just going to be donating them anyway. So I guess we'll see. Anyway, I originally listed it at $85, and then going through some comps and stuff, I decided to lower it a little bit more, and so I put it down to $65, which I'm kind of wondering if I shouldn't have, if this person would have bought it for $85 anyway, but I guess I'll never know. So it sold for $65. They just flat out bought it, and considering I paid $9.88 for it, and the Poshmark fees, I ended up profiting $42.12, which is just awesome. And that's the kind of stuff that I'm going for now, is to try and lower my cost of goods as much as I can while getting my profit higher. And so that was right there on that goal. The next item I sold is a Jack's, J-A-C-H-S, marled gray long sleeve men's Henley top. That one had been in my closet for quite a while, so I lowered the price recently to for a bunch of stuff. So it ended up going at $10, and that gave me a profit of $6 even. And the last item, but not least, is a pair of women's Ariat 28 short ruby fit bootcut jeans. These are a pair that I got when I did the Savers jeans haul, which you can look back through my videos and see that one. I got, I think it was 10 pairs of jeans or something like that. And so they all ended up costing me around $4 a piece. This specific pair sold for $30. They bought them outright at full price, and I ended up profiting after fees and everything and cost of goods, $20 even. So that is all of my sales for the last little bit up until last night. And I will be trying to probably do these videos maybe once a week now, and concentrating on some other videos that will bring some more value to my channel. So teaching, showing everyone what my inventory is like, my storage system, my crazy space I have in my front room where I process stuff, because I don't have another extra room. Since we live in a 3-bedroom apartment, I don't have an extra room like a lot of women do to, you know, just store everything, to have an office, to have a desk, all that kind of stuff. So you can do this without having your own warehouse, without having your own special, you know, room set aside. It is still possible to do this business without all of those luxuries. So anyway, if you guys like me doing these what sold videos once a week or every day, please leave me a comment down in the description, or the comments down below, and let me know so that I can kind of get a little bit of feedback and know what you guys would like to see. If this was kind of too long and you like the shorter ones better, please let me know. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and don't forget to click the notification bell and click where it says all. That way, whenever I upload a new video, you all can be notified and get to see everything that I'm loading up. Anyway, I will talk to y'all later in my next video. Have an awesome day. Bye.